Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandana Gaur Shakti Surupaya Rupanumabhaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasati Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo. So first of all, I offer pranams to our Gurudev, Om Vishnu Padi Dandi Swami Sri Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Gosai Maharaj, Arupanuga Guru Varga, Ashiksha Guru Srila Nitilila Sri Gauragovinda Gosai Maharaj, Sri Bhaktaram Madhusudan Gosai Maharaj, all devotees, Dandavat pranams. So today is Chapter 7, Jaiva-Dharma. So we're trying to do a chapter every 2 days. So we should finish in 2 months or something. Someone said yesterday, after we finish, just start again. But let's see. So, Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Jaiva-Dharma, he gives example of many, many different people from many different backgrounds, how they came into sadhan bhajan. One was liberated Paramahamsa, Sannyasi Thakur, that is in the first chapter. By the mercy of Vaisnavas, he became Vaisnava-das. So there's also the history of Lahari Mahasai, also Brahman, but so much educated in Islamic culture also. He wasn't a Muslim, of course, but very strict Brahmin family. So how he came also to bhakti from his point of view. Then, so one by one, so Lahari Mahasaya, Sannyasi Thakur, who else? Chand Kazi, we heard a little bit from him also, but more from them will be. Okay, so most of us are not from Brahmin families or liberated Paramahamsas, so one chapter just for normal people. That is chapter 7. So, in the first 6 chapters, Bhaktivinoda Thakur discussing, of course, Nitya and Naimitic Dharma, especially Nitya-dharma is the Sarup, the intrinsic quality of the Tatastha Jiva. We heard already the Tatastha Jiva is not like Bhagavan in the sense Bhagavan has no contact with Maya, but the Tatastha Jiva may have full spiritual connection, also can inconceivably exist in the material world, in the material body. So all this, he discussed the 2 types of souls, the liberated souls and the conditioned souls, how the different naimitic dharmas of the jivas, but actually how the jiva comes to Maya, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has not discussed that. So that he discusses in chapter 7. Not so easy to understand, like Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj when he preached in the West in the beginning. Pretty much a little bit avoided this topic. He said jiva comes from Vaikuntha. So when he came back to India, someone asked him, why you are preaching that? It is not proper. It is not correct. And he said, I know, but unless I explain that jiva comes from Vaikuntha, because in the Western countries, Mayavad, impersonalism, Sunyavad is so strong, then they cannot have a conception of how they are eternally Krishna's servant, because Mayavad is so powerful there. But if they hear we come from Vaikuntha, then easily they can grab, oh yes, I am a Krishna's eternal servant. That way. Sometimes Vaishnava use preaching tactic, time, place, and circumstance. So even Bhaktivinoda Thakur in this book, he waits till chapter 7 to introduce the concept of the fall down of the conditioned soul. So 4 type of persons approach Krishna: Ato, Atati, Gigyasa, Jnani cha Bharata Sabha. Chaturvida bhajanti mam jana sukhitano Arjuna. O Arjuna, Krishna says, 4 type of pious souls come to me. With that, those who desire wealth, those who are suffering, those who are inquisitive, and those who are after liberation. So we heard about the liberated soul, Sannyasi Thakur. We heard about the inquisitive, Lahiri Mahasaya. So now we're hearing about the category of suffering and who want money, which is pretty much everyone else. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur starts chapter 7, the history of Damayanti and Candidasa. So near Raghunath Das Goswami's birthplace, that is called Adi Saptagram, since long time goldsmiths have been living there. So goldsmith is considered very fallen because gold means Kali lives in 5 places. One is gold. Goldsmith, jeweler, that means cheater, 100%. I'll tell a story. It's a bit mundane, but you can get an idea. Birbal and Akbar were discussing how jewelers, metalsmiths always cheat. So Akbar said, not possible to always cheat, and Birbal said, always cheat. So they made a test. So Akbar commissioned the goldsmiths of Agra to make a golden elephant. So big, well, however big, I was not there, but so they, with many people observing, they melted the gold and they designed the elephant, and then they said, oh, we're going to take the elephant and polish him in the river. Take the sand and it'll polish him, he'll come up nicely. So they took the elephant with so many observers and everyone watching, they took into the river, washed, and then they brought the elephant out again, shiny and golden. Then Akbar said, see, there was no cheating, but Birbal said 100% there was cheating. So he asked the goldsmiths, don't lie, I promise there will be no punishment. You must have cheated, you cannot avoid cheating. How you cheated? Don't be afraid, tell them the goldsmiths. Actually, we hid a copper elephant in the river before that looks like gold. So when we came to the river, the real golden elephant we put in the river, we covered by sand, and we took out the fake elephant. So they cheated for the whole amount. So goldsmith by nature is considered very low class, very materialistic. But by the grace of Nityananda, they had become mad for Sankirtan. Especially there is Udaran Das Thakur, Pujapat Trivika Maharaj, where I went there. He took me personally there. There was no one else actually. He took me to the birthplace of Raghunath Goswami, also the Samadhi of Udaran Das Thakur. He is one of the 12 Gopals, 12 cowherd boys, especially friends of Balaram. So actually Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj appeared in that family also in the dynasty of Udaran Das Thakur. This is also one hint of his internal mood of being in Sakiras. But anyway, we'll leave that. So since by the mercy of Nityananda, this whole materialistic goldsmith community had become so much mad for Harinam, so in that community was one goldsmith named Candidasa and his wife Damayanti. They were great misers. They never joined any Sankirtan because they were afraid that someone would ask them to sponsor a feast. So they always avoided Harikatha. They always avoided sadhusang because they thought someone will ask me for a donation. No. Also, they never invited any guests or any sadhus to their house because you have to feed them nicely. No. In this way, they never also spent any money on themselves. Reminds me of a few people. Anyway, so in this way, they collected a lot of money by miserly dealings and frugal living, simple living. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said that house which sadhus never visit, generally the children will, because they have no nice example, no purity, no good association, and generally children take on the qualities of the parents. If parents never serving any Vaishnavas, any guests, then children naturally took on those bad qualities. No? So he had 4 sons and some daughters. So the daughters were married, gradually the sons also married. The sons became expert in business, so they took care of all the family dealings, divided up the wealth. But father and mother were very unhappy because children were neglecting. Especially Bhagavatam says, the householder in old age, he cannot bring any more wealth. So he lives in the house of his dependents just like a dog. The dog, what you feed him? Dog is fed the scraps, the remnants, because he cannot bring any money, and money, brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey, because they cannot bring any wealth, and family members treat them badly and neglect them, hoping when he can die, then we can take the full inheritance. So they began neglecting. So parents could understand. They called their sons, 4 sons, along with their daughters-in-law, who had also taken on the similar qualities of their husbands. And they said, we feel very bad because in old age you are neglecting us, but I have kept a big wealth. All my life savings I have kept, and I will give to the son who takes care of us in old age. So the children, 4 sons, said, yes, father, we will make some plan how to nicely serve you. And they began talking among themselves. 100% father has hidden the wealth in the bedroom. Before there was no cement floors, was earth floors, probably covered by carpets or cow dung. So 100% he's buried the wealth, in his own bedroom. So they made a plan early in the morning. The oldest son, Haricharan, came, oh mother and father, we've heard there is no holy place equal to Mayapur, Navadvip, and it's very close. If you are feeling too weak, then we can rent a boat for a cheap price to send you up the river, literally. And or if you feel up, you can walk for free. So Damayanti and Candidasa, of course, will take the free, will walk. Here is one Vaishnavi, she will go with you. So on auspicious time, they went, they walked towards Mayapur. So on the way, news came. Oh, Chandidas, your sons have broken the lock in your room. They found your hidden treasure, and they divided amongst themselves. They don't want you to come home. So imagine, so much pain and suffering. They lamented. So the Vaishnavi who was with them said, this world is like that, no? Don't go back. Now live here peacefully in Navadvip Dham. No. Do bhajan. You can beg and maintain your living by begging. Be happy here. So they started doing that, but after some time, again and again, they remembered their children. Oh, we should go back. After all, we are their parents. Then the Vaishnavi said, are you quite mad? Definitely if you go back, they will kill you. They will take your life. Candidasa and Damayanti said, yes, it's possible. So they began living in Kulyagram. Kulya means present-day city of Navadvip. So that area is called Aparad Banjan Pit. If one lives in Kulya, then all one's offenses are destroyed. Jagai Madai were forgiven there. Also the Brahman Pandit, Devaki Nandan, before his name was Devananda Pandit, he was also forgiven there. When Mahaprabhu came to Kulya on the way to visit Vrindavan the second time, then when Gauranga was a grihast and many people had criticized him, offended him, so at that place they all came and begged forgiveness. The power of that place, one who lives there becomes free from offense. So by residing in the holy place, gradually their minds and hearts became purified. So in that village was one Vaishnav, his name was Yadava, a grihasta. So he would read one Vaishnav, Krishna Vijay, by one devotee, one devotional scripture he would read. So sometimes Chandidas and his wife, they would go and hear the Harikatha. So residing in holy place and hearing the Vaishnava scriptures, one gets a mountain of Sukriti. When he saw Yadav Das and his wife serving Vaishnavas, then Damayanti and Chandidas also become inspired. Oh yes, we will also serve Vaishnavas if we get some chance. So Candidasa said to his wife, we wasted our whole life not serving anyone. Now in old age we will serve some guests and Vaishnavas. So he opened a grocery shop by taking some donation and a little bit profit he earned every day. And every day he would serve at least one guest, one Vaishnav. So a few months passed like this. Gradually people heard of their history and developed faith in them. So one day Candidasa was talking to Yadava, the Vaishnavas. So Candidasa inquired from Yadava, what is this material world? What is material existence? So Yadava said, oh, many Vaishnavas live on the eastern bank of the Bhagirathi, on the Ganga, in Godrumadvipa. Come, let us go there, and you can ask them. Many Vaishnava scholars there, they are more expert than the Brahmanas. In just a few days, the Vaishnavas defeated all the Brahman Pandits. We heard that in chapter 6. So already Vaishnav Das defeated everyone, so let's go. So Yadav Das and Candidasa went to cross the Ganga, then Damayanti, I may also come. Then Yadav Das said, no, they are very strict renunciants. They cannot allow any woman into their area, but you can stay outside and afterwards we'll come back. So Damayanti said, I'm old and my hair is all white. I will not disturb. So as they went there, she stayed underneath one banyan tree. Then Yadav Das and Candidasa went in, did pranam to the Vaishnavas. So who was there? There was one banyan tree. That place was called Nitya-dharma. Some time previously, Nityananda had also sat under that tree because Nityananda began his Sankirtan pastimes from Godruma. Nadia Godrumi Nityananda Mahajan Patyachi Namahata Jaiva-Dharma. So he began his pastimes from Godruma. 9 islands. Godruma is the island of Kirtanakya Bhakti, the island of Kirtan. So there was Paramahamsa Babaji, we heard from him already. He was the guru of Sannyasi Thakur, Vaishnava Das. And he himself was disciple of Pradyumna Brahmachari. So Parampara is established. So he had personally seen Nityananda Prabhu. That means Gauranga had just left, maybe not so many years ago. And Nityananda had personally sat in that tree. So he was hoping to leave his body near that tree. So Candidasa' mind had become purified by residing in holy place and serving Vaishnavas. When a simple-hearted person hears the scriptures, very quickly they get auspiciousness. So Candidasa went there, Yadav Das introduced him, told his history. He asked, what is material existence? And Paramahamsa Das Babaji said, oh, Vaishnav Das, Ananda Das Babaji is here. We can today all hear instructions from him. Like when many high-class Vaishnavas, sometimes this Vaishnava will speak like 4 Kumaras, sometimes Sanu Kumar speaks and the other Kumaras listen, sometimes no. Sanandan Kumar speaks, the other Kumaras listen. So today we will hear from Ananda Das Babaji. Ananda Das accepted. His guru was also Pradyumna Brahmachari. So him and Paramahamsa Das Babaji Maharaj were like god brothers. So we'll hear today the instructions of Ananda Das Baba. Ananda Das Pandit actually. The jiva exists in 2 states, conditioned and liberated. Bada, bound, means conditioned. He's now bound or conditioned by the material mind, intelligence, body, and senses. And in the liberated stage, the mukta jivas, the liberated souls of 2 types, those who are eternally liberated, they're the nitya-siddhas, and those who are liberated after performing sadhan bhajan, they're called the badamuktas, right? They were conditioned but became liberated by bhajan. How many types of liberated souls are there, Damayanti? Chitangani? Huh? Thank you. Two types of liberated souls, eternally liberated, and those who were conditioned but became liberated by bhajan. So the liberated souls live in many places, in Vaikuntha, in Ayodhya, in Dwarka, and in the topmost section, Goloka, Vrindavan. And the conditioned souls, where they reside, here in the material world. So the jivas, those who are bound by Maya, are innumerable, countless conditioned souls. Even in one glass of water, how many microbes and bacteria? Countless. Because they have the defect of being opposed to Krishna's service. So here is a new word, Bahirmukh. Mukh means face, Bahir means outside or against. So Bahirmukh means they have the defect of having turned away from the service of Krishna. And now they have taken shelter of the Chaya Shakti, the Maya potency, or Maya, and are bound by illusion in the form of goodness, passion, and ignorance. And under the spell of illusion, how many different conditions we find ourselves in, how many different species, how many different appearance, moods, natures, colors, movements, attitudes, mentalities, countless and innumerable. When the jiva enters material existence, he takes on a new egoism of what? The conditioned state forces him to identify with the mind and body. He thinks, I'm a human being. I'm a demigod. I'm an animal. I'm a king. I'm a Brahmin. I'm an outcast. I am diseased. I am hungry. I have been disrespected. I am charitable. I am pious. I'm a husband. I'm a wife. Nowadays, I'm a black. You're a white. I'm a son. I'm a father. I'm an enemy. I'm a friend. I'm a scholar. I'm handsome. I'm wealthy. I am poor. I am unhappy. I am weak. It's all bodily identification. When Bharat Maharaj answered Rahuganath, I am not weak, fat, thin, strong, black, white. Nothing. I have nothing to do with this body. So this is called ahamta. I am. Pure nature has been covered, now identifying with the coverings. This is called ahamta. As well, now he identifies of that which belongs to the body. This is called mamata. Ahamta and mamata. I and mine. No, this is my wife, my possessions, my wealth, my children, my husband, my father, my mother, my race, my beauty, my quality, my learning, my renunciation even, my knowledge, my wisdom, my property, my dependents, my servants. This whole colossal affair running under the spell of I and mine is called material existence, samsara. So Yadav Das asks, because Candidasa maybe not so much advanced to even ask any proper questions. Only proper person can properly inquire from Vaishnava, who have the qualities of disciple. He can ask proper questions. Like anyway, so many times Gurudev would be on morning walk, and people would ask the most stupid questions. You cannot imagine, just the most stupid questions. Then Gurudev would say, no, oh, that means you are not reading. You have no intelligence to even ask some proper question. So Candidasa is so new, so materialistic, he's just in the background, quiet. Because proper inquiry, then proper kata is there. Like no Arjuna, no Bhagavad Gita, no Parikshit, no Bhagavatam. No. So Candidasa just a little humble in the back. Yadav Das asked, I and mine exist in the conditioned state. Does it exist in the liberated state? Yes, yes. But liberated state, ahamta and mamata, no defect. No, that is in a pure condition. I am Krishna's servant, friend, mother and father, or beloved. And ahamta means, and the paraphernalia in the spiritual world, that is all for Krishna's service. So in the spiritual world, when the soul is pure, I and mind have a pure identity. No? But when it comes to this world, it takes on a perverted form. So, Yadava asks, what's the problem with thinking I and mind in the conditioned state? The defect is that in the conditioned state, I and mind are not real. They are imaginary, imposed on the living entity, like in a dream. Actually, this Bharat Maharaj gives this in answer to the same thing that Rahuganath asked. No, like in a dream, we see many things in a dream, but when we wake up, not real. No. In the same way, these conceptions, I and mine, are not actually aspects of the jiva. They are false identities. All varieties of material identification and material existence are impermanent and unreal. They only cause momentary happiness and distress. So is this world false? No, this world is real, but temporary. Only Mayavadis believe this world is false. We say this world is real because it comes from Krishna, who is real. It's his energy, so it's real, but it's temporary. But Mayavadis believe Bhagavan is false. My identity as a jiva is also false. This is all false. Like I heard Vivekananda would think, is this world false? Am I false? So he would punch himself in the face and bash his face into a brick wall to see if it was false or not. Anyway, these are the glories of the Ram Krishna mission. So, no need to bash your face against the brick wall, just read Jaiva-Dharma. This world is not false, it's temporary. So, why have we fallen into this illusory relationship of I am this body and what belongs to this body is mine? So, Yadav Das answers. I'll read the whole paragraph because here is very concise. Bhagavan is the complete spiritual entity, Purna Chidvastu. And the jivas are minute spiritual entities, Chitkan or Anuchaitanya. We heard also in chapter 5. Bhagavan is unlimited and complete, jiva is incomplete. The jiva's first location is on the boundary line between the material and spiritual world. The jivas who do not forget their relationship with Krishna are captured by the Chit Shakti, the spiritual potency. They are drawn from that position into the spiritual realm where they become his eternal associates and relish the bliss of his service. For those who look towards Krishna, later on Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives the example of a fish who sees both sides of the river. The good fish, the good jivas who look towards Krishna, the Swarup Shakti takes them and gives them their position of service. They never come to this world. And the bad fish, the conditioned souls, looks towards Maya, looks nice. Why should I waste my life serving this guy when I can be the enjoyer? He's captured by illusion. No. So, the jivas who turn away from Krishna desire to enjoy Maya, and Maya attracts them towards her. Come here. Take a nap. Come on. Come back to Venezuela. Come back to Argentina. From that moment, our materialist state of existence comes into being, and our true spiritual identity disappears, covers. Instead of thinking, I'm the servant of Krishna, we think, I'm the enjoyer of Maya. This false ego covers us with many false identities. So what Yadava asks, then why is it that the true nature of the soul does not manifest despite many endeavors? Right? The Christians trying hard, the Muslims trying hard, the yogis trying hard, the Karmis trying hard, Scientologists trying hard. Everyone's trying, but why real identity is not realized? Beautiful answer. Ananta Das says, one is appropriate endeavor, one is inappropriate endeavor. Well, very simple answer. Some people think hearts will be purified if they follow Karma Kand. Some think if I practice Brahma Gyan, I'll be purified. Some think I'll do Astanga Yoga and Samadhi. However, these are all called inappropriate endeavor. Why are they inappropriate? A very beautiful answer. If we could just remember all this when we preach, our preaching would be so much more efficient. Why they're inappropriate? Then Ananta Das explains, because they give many inauspicious results, which cause obstacles in the jiva's life to attain perfection. For example, if you perform piety, then you get the result, you become very beautiful, very wealthy. This is an obstacle. Or by Brahmagyan, you think you are God, then it's pretty hard to serve God if you think you are God. Produces an obstacle. Astanga Yoga produces the result of absorption in mystic powers. That is an obstacle. And the main thing is, we have been placed in a material existence because of offense. Unless we attain the forgiveness of that person we offended, cannot be released from prison. What is appropriate endeavor? Sadhusang and prapati. Sadhusang means association of the devotees and cultivating feelings of surrender. This is called appropriate endeavor. Krishna says, Devi hiya sagunami mama maya duratya mamae vamye prapadyante mayamitam taratite. This divine potency of mind, the illusory energy, consists of three ropes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Only those who surrender to me can cross beyond it. Try and get a tattoo. Sadhusang prapati. Okay, Saranagati. We heard that also yesterday, the last class. So, throughout Jaiva-Dharma, Bhaktivinoda Thakur always does this. He always gives a little, summary. Even in one chapter, many summaries, so we can get the point again. Candidasa, listening on the side. Oh, great soul, I think I understand, but not fully. I have understood we are pure living entities. Because we have forgotten Krishna, we have fallen to Maya, and we are bound in this world. If we get Krishna's mercy, we can be delivered again. Otherwise, we stay here. Ananta Das said, for now, that's okay to think like that. For now. Because is the jiva really conditioned by Maya? Is the jiva really in bondage? Is the jiva really liberated? But that's another thing. If you go into that world, that's too much confusion for beginners. Like there's no such thing as day or night for the sun. Is there really any such thing as bondage or liberation for the soul? So in summary, Premvivata. So this is a little long, but it's quite simple. Jagadananda Pandit. From beginning, he preached like this. Actually, many people say, the Babaji say, Bhaktivinoda Thakur must have written Premvivata. They say like that. Because so completely matching with the Gaudiya Math philosophy. It's not like that. So, Chitkan, Jiv Krishna, Chinmoy Bhaskar, Nitya Krishna Deki Krishna Kodane Adar. So, the atomic consciousness is the jiva, and Krishna is like the spiritual sun. When the jiva looks to Krishna, Krishna Kodena Adar. Then he always looks to Krishna, he feels Adar means respect, love, a mood of seva. So you look at Krishna, you feel a mood of seva. But Krishna Bahirmukh Hoy Bhagavanchaskari Nikatasti Mayatiya Japatiya Jari. But the jiva who turns away from Krishna, then Maya, who is nearby, immediately grabs him, covers him. Nice example, like you look at the sun, no darkness. But as soon as you turn away from the dark sun, what's the first thing you see? Shadow. Look at Krishna, seva, turn away from Krishna, captured by Maya. Pitachi paila yena matta chinna hoy, maya grasta jiva hoy se babudaya. Then the jiva becomes covered by Maya, becomes like a person haunted by a ghost. We call like some schizophrenia, some very strong, someone who thinks there's someone else. That's someone haunted by a ghost. Like you go in the crazy house, there's 4 or 5 Donald Trumps, 4 or 5 Napoleon Bonapartes, Adolf Hitler's, Stalin. When someone thinks there's someone else, that is called mad. So the jiva becomes mad by the witch of Maya, forgets his identity, and now is identifying with this world and this body. Ami Siddha Krishna Das Ekata Buli Maya Nafaraha Chiridina Buli. I used to memorize, I had memorized all these things one stage. I am Krishna's eternal servant. He forgets that tattva, and instead he wanders here and there day and night like the mad person in the street. Srila Sridhar Maharaj gave the example. Like the mad person wanders in the street picking up bits of paper and plastic and stuff. He's forgotten his parents, he's forgotten his home, and he's engaging in stupid, useless activities. So day and night, bewildered by Maya, he thinks, I'm a housewife, I'm a Brahmin, I'm a dog, I'm an outcast, I'm a student. So Kabu Raj, Kabu Praj, Kabu Prasudra, Kabu Duki, Kabu Tsuki, Kabu Kita Sudra, Kabu Swarge, Kabu Mate, Narakeva Kabu, Kabu Dev, Kabu Daitya, Kabu Dasa Prabhu. Sometimes he's a king, sometimes a citizen, sometimes a Brahmin, sometimes a Sudra, sometimes happy, sometimes sad, sometimes an insect, sometimes king of heaven. Sometimes he goes to the heavenly planets, sometimes he goes to this earth planet, sometimes he goes to hell, sometimes he's a demigod, sometimes a demon, sometimes a servant, sometimes a master. Erup samsa brahmati konjan sadhu sangha nijatattva avagata. This way he moves in the cycle of samsara, material existence. We heard samsara means what? I and mine. I'm this body, what belongs to this body is mine. But sadhusang nijatattva avagata. If by good fortune, chance, by good fortune, he gets sadhusang, then again his life has meaning. Nitya-dharma jani samsara nahi chai kena bhujana maya kare haya. Then understanding who I am, Godrumadvipa would roar these verses. Sadhusang understand what? I'm not this body, I'm a soul, I'm the servant of Krishna. Then he'll cry. Why? Maya cheated me. Millions of lifetimes cheated me. Instead of serving Krishna, I served Maya. Kande bole ohe Krishna ami tuadas tumara charanachara hoilo sarvanas. So he prays that time, Kandiya bole, with tears in his eyes. Actually, Godrumadvipa will always talk. You have to weep. You have to weep to the feet of Krishna. I am your servant, eternal servant, but I gave up your lotus feet. I lost everything. Kakuti kore Krishna dakeba, kripa kore Krishna ta charana samsa. And Krishna is very kind. If he hears someone even one time from the core of the heart cry, I am yours, I am yours. That time Krishna gives his potency, the chit shakti, the spiritual potency. Then the jiva gets strength and can kick Maya. Godrumadvipa said, kick out the ugly witch, he would say. Maya ke pichane raki Krishna panechai, bhajate Krishna pada padma pai, sorry. He kicks illusion, and by doing bhajan gets spiritual strength, gradually becomes qualified to attain Krishna. Sadhusang Krishnam ei matrachai, samsara janati par arakona vastunai. Sadhusang, and the name of Krishna, there is no other way to cross the ocean of material death. Beautiful instructions, right? Beautiful instructions. It's Prem Vivata. Okay. Got to move on a bit. So, then Yadavas, but the sadhus are also in this world. You know? How can they deliver other jivas? Sometimes we think, they're also eating. Godrumadvipa would say, sometimes we think Gurudev also eating, Gurudev also sleeping, Gurudev also drinking. What's the difference between he and me? Oh, Madhusudana Maharaj gives the example like the sardine in Tirunelveli. The sardine swimming, and then the moon also reflects in the ocean. So he looks at the moon in the ocean. The sardine thinks he's like me. He's also in the water. He's also shining. Okay, maybe he's a big sardine. Out of foolishness, many times we think, oh, sadhu like me, he also become angry, he also becomes sick, he also like me. We cannot see inside how they are, what they're thinking, how they're serving. We cannot see that. No? Therefore, Maharaj said, we did it a while ago. No, that's why people stay a long time in sadhu sang. Always danger there because become it's normal, no, make offense and go down. So Yadava asked the question: the sadhus also in this world. They also are oppressed by the miseries of the existence. They also take birth. They also die. They also become diseased. They also have old age. How can they deliver other jivas? Ananda said, it's a fact. Sadhus live in this world, but there is significant difference between the earthly life of the sadhus and the jivas who are bewildered by Maya. Saraswati Thakur said, there is always a permanent demarcation between the saved and the unsaved. Only those who are truly saved can understand the difference. Those who go beyond Maya, they know what it is. So, but the association of sadhus is very rare, because although sadhus live in this world, ordinary person cannot understand. There are two type of jivas who fall in this world. No? Those who have no discrimination, like animals, those who have little discrimination, who discriminate between matter and spirit. Okay, so I'm just summarizing now 4 types of jivas in this world. The anudit vivek, those with no discrimination, unawoken discrimination, and those with udit vivek, so with those with awoken discrimination. Right? Understand? Discrimination. Matter, what's the difference, the soul in this world? Okay. So those who are a little high, there are also 4 types. Viveki, they know a little bit difference, good and bad, eternal, temporary, auspicious, inauspicious, matter and spirit. Viveki. Then there is the mamukshus. Mamukshus mean those who want freedom from birth and death. Then there is the muktas, those who actually are liberated from birth and death. And then there are the devotees. Right? It says, Muktanam apisidanam narayana parayana sudurlabha prashandatma kotisapi mahamuni. Out of many millions of liberated souls, there may be only one who knows Narayan, one who knows Krishna. So 4 types of higher discriminatory persons: the Viveki, the Mumukshu, the Mukta, and the Bhakta. The Bhakta 2 types: those who are attracted to Krishna's Madhurya, they worship Krishna, and those who are attracted to the Aishwarya of Bhagavan, they prefer to worship Narayan and other incarnations. So he says, when I talk about the Mumukshus, he says, I do not mean the impersonal, those who desire impersonal liberation, because scripture has said always to reject that association. Bhagavatam says, Ye anye arabunda daksha vimuktamanias tvayastabhava visuddhabuddhya. The impersonalists think I am liberated, but because they do not respect the lotus feet of Krishna, again they fall to this world. So Mayavadis should not be included in that. No? All scripture says to give up that type of association. So, Yadav Das gives a little summary. You've explained devotees live in 2 conditions. Right? Please explain the 2 conditions of the Vaisnavas in this world. Ananda Das, the Bhaktas are either Grihastas or Tyagis, renunciants. How a Grihasta lives in this world? So Ananda Das, one does not become a Grihasta simply by building a house and living in it. Or by having a wife does not make you a Grihasta. Griha means one should accept a proper wife in marriage, according to rules and regulations. No more girlfriends, right? Do everything properly. And who lives in that condition and practices bhakti is known as grihastha bhakti. So the jiva is controlled by the senses. The eyes enjoy color, form, ears enjoy sound, nose enjoys fragrance. He touches with the skin, he tastes with the tongue. So the conditioned soul enters this world through the five senses. He becomes attached. The more he becomes attached to matter, the further he goes away from Krishna. This is called Bahiramukh. But when devotees live as grihastas, they do not live like that. No? They do not live just to enjoy the senses. Their wife is called Dharma Patni, assistant in Dharma. No? Famous story, right? When one man was living with Gokasudas Babaji Maharaj, he went away and came back with a wife. Oh, Gurudev, this is my Krishna Dasi. Means Dharma Patni, assistant in Dharma, they call it. And Babaji Maharaj gave, what? Oh, you found a Krishna Dasi? Oh. A maidservant of Krishna, very nice. Then you should do pranam to her every day, you should cook for her, wash her cloth, do all this, because the association of the servants of Krishna is very rare. But if you try and enjoy her, you will go to hell because she is for Krishna's enjoyment. That man ran away with his Krishna Dasi. So don't cheat. But anyway, this is the ideal grihastha life. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is so much important in many ways. He showed the ideal standard of grihastha ashram. 11, 13 children, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. No attached. So great example in all ways. Gokasudas Babaji Maharaj also before was grihastha. No? Gurudev, many others, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. Nothing wrong with the grihastha ashram if you do it properly and perfectly. So, the Vaishnava lives in this, the grihastha bhakta lives surrounded by objects, but he not thinking it is mine. He sees all the family members are also Krishna's servants, so he engages himself and his dependents in the service of Krishna. The eyes of the family members see the form of Krishna, the deity. Their ears become satisfied hearing Harikatha. Even Sudadwaiti Maharaj, he would tell every night, all children, wife, everyone, every night, sit and do Sankirtan every night. Most grihasthas just watching the television and listen. So all family members happy by hearing Katha and Kirtan. Their nose, they smell the tulsi and the flowers after the deity. Their tongues, they taste the nectar of Krishna's name and the prasad. They feel happiness embracing the Vaisnavas. Their hopes, activities, desires, their service to the guests is all subordinate to the service of Krishna. Their entire life is a festival of Krishna Nam, mercy to the jivas and service to the Vaishnavas. How many grihastas we know like that? How many even sannyasis we know like that? Only grihastha bhaktas can possess material objects and enjoy them without becoming attached. It is most appropriate for jivas in the age of Kali to become grihastha Vaishnavas, for then there is no fear of falling down. Okay? Don't get your hopes up, Malati. Gurudev gives a 5-page explanation of what Bhaktivinoda Thakur means there. Don't fall down. Battery is running low. Where's Makeshri? Plug in battery. Okay, so I don't want to get into much because that's a big topic. If you care to read Gurudev's own footnotes on this chapter, and Gurudev explains Bhaktivinoda Thakur is not ordering everyone to go into Grihastha ashram. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling everyone to live in an unfallen state. For some people, unfallen state, hey. Unfallen state means different things for different type of persons. So we do pranam to that. People can read that footnote at their own time. Okay, I've got 15 minutes, have to finish. So, Okay. Bhakti can be fully developed from the Grihastha ashram if the children of such saintly Vaishnavas are also counted as devotees. That is great. That is why the association with Grihastha devotees is particularly beneficial for the jivas. Like Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, 90% of his preaching done by the Grihastha devotees. So, Yadava said, but the Grihasthas will have to stay under Varnashram. They will definitely be tortured by the smartas. Yes, then Anantada said, definitely Vaishnava has some social conventions, even Grihastha Vaishnava, he has to educate his children. He has to perform the funeral ceremonies of his departed relatives. He has to arrange the marriage of his sons and daughters. No? But even this should be done in a favorable way. He explains, like, if we have to do funeral ceremony for the relatives, then should do according to the Vaishnava rites, offer Mahaprasad to the departed soul. No? So everything should be done in a Vaishnava way. Okay? If one carries out the karma for which one is enjoined, in pursuance of Sudha Bhakti, that karma does not become unfavorable to Bhakti. Who can live without karma? We need money, we need a house, this is all karma. But karma is not forbidden, but anukulena krishnanu. That karma and gyan should be anukul, favorable and helpful to devotion. So, most of Lord Chaitanya's devotees were Grihastha devotees. Mahaprabhu himself, of course, in the beginning, Nityananda, after. Advaitacharya, of course, only Gadadhar was Naistik Brahmachari. Srivas Thakur, Shivananda Sen, most were Grihasthas. As well as Prahlad, the Pandavas, Dhruva, they are highly respected in this world. So Yadava said, if they're so highly respected, why someone becomes a renunciant? So some Grihastha Bhaktas become eligible for renunciation, but they are very few. How you become elevated, how you become qualified for renounced life? Okay, anyway, I don't jump because it's coming up. We see what happens when unqualified persons take renounced order, red cloth, and then do their nonsense, destroy themselves, destroy society. So, when the pure soul forgets his identity, he falsely identifies with the mind and body, becomes attracted to the object of the senses. This is called outward tendency, when he's everything going out into the world. I even wrote it down. What's it called? Oh, my notes failed. Oh, no, important words, I remember. This is called Bahirmukh, when everything's going out, trying to enjoy form, sound, smell, taste, touch. And Antamukh, when the devotee controls the senses and engages them in Hari Bhajan. Okay, so qualification should be control of the senses. So one whose proclivity towards karma is very strong, there's too much rajagun or tamagun, they should simply enter Grihastha ashram and make Krishna the center and become purified. Then quickly the outward proclivity of the tendency to enjoy the world becomes reversed. And when one's direction is going inside, antilmukh pravritti, the time he cannot fall down again. The Grihastha ashram is a special school where the jivas may receive instructions regarding Atma Tattva and be given the opportunity to develop their realization of such matters. They may leave the school when their education is complete. So generally Grihastha ashram is meant to give so much suffering that one prays to Bhagavan, I never do again. Like Gogur Maharaj would often talk about. He said to please Krishna is not very hard, but to please wife and children, this is very, he would say. He said, how much suffering is there? He said, I know. He would always say, but I know, I tasted that suffering. How much suffering is there? And he would give long explanation. My wife is always saying, bring money. Children is saying, I need this. day and night, suffering. So this is the school. Do the school properly. No one to say, but many people now, they're cheating. They marry some woman and some contraception, so there's no baby, so they're enjoying, but not proper. That means enjoy, 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 never finished. But every time you're with your wife and you have a baby, God, after 6, 7, you'll be going, no more, Hare Krishna. This give renunciation if you do properly. Many people cheating, they're cheating the school. Anyway, so this Grihastha Ashram is a school for education. When education is finished, chalo, leave the school. What are the symptoms of a bhakta who is eligible to give up household life? Sarva bhuta suryat pasyat bhagavat bhavanatmanaha. The real qualification is bhav. Gautam Maharaj would say it's illegal to take sannyas before the stage of bhav. That is cheating and illegal. But Guru Maharaj, when he gave us sannyas, he said, actually, really, this renounced order is meant for Rupa and Sanatana, this caliber. So, but who want to become like that, they can also take. Guru Dev said, who want to become like that also. Okay. So that's why we see, even in Gurudev's time, an unqualified person takes sannyas, what they do? Just destroy everything. So, and the second qualification, should chant holy name without offense. Okay, when these symptoms are manifested, exclusive devotion, all renunciation, including renouncing varnashram dharma, wife and children, as well as chanting without offense. When these symptoms are manifested in a grihastha bhakta, he is no longer suited for engagement in karma. He therefore renounces household life. He may or may not. If grihastha ashram is favorable, he may stay. Example is that. Or he may leave. Such renunciations are rare. One is very fortunate if they get their association. Yadava said, these days young men often renounce household life and adopt the dress of the renounced order. They establish a deity and make a place for sadhus to congregate. After some time they fall down, but they do not give up chanting Harinam. Are they tyagis or grihastas, right? Sometimes sannyasi falls down and people say, no, he's still chanting. It's okay. He's still hearing kitab. But Ananta Das, very heavy answer. It's not that one has to go through a grihastha ashram. Sukadev had samskar from birth. He took sannyas. If detachment is real, being young is no impediment to taking sannyas. Like Sankaracharya, he took sannyas when he was 7. Madhvacharya took sannyas when he was 11. Sukadev Goswami took sannyas when he was born. So youth or so-called old age is no qualification. Okay, what is real renunciation and false renunciation? Because Yadava asked many questions, so he's answering one by one. Real renunciation can never be broken at any time. Like Didi, her renunciation, like lion and stone, never broken, never changed. Raghunath Goswami also said like that. False renunciation arises from deception, dishonesty, and desire for prestige. Sannyasi gets more panya than others. Arup takes sannyas. Some people make a false show of renunciation to enjoy the respect. Many people take sannyas, but they don't want the anugati which comes with sannyas. They take some mantra from someone and disappear. So, does a devotee who has given up household life need to accept the cloth of renounced order? Ananta Das, not necessary. May or may not. Sometimes it's more helpful for bhajan to identify with the renounced order. But some people like avadut, like what's the uniform for an avadut? Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, no? Kabi Goda Bani Sudadanyatate Harade Hak. When that day comes, Swapachi Grihete Maje Kaibu, people saras. When that day I will just drink water from the river, beg some food from the untouchables, Har Radhe, Har Krishna, and just wear the dress of a mad person, avadut. So for some people it may be helpful to identify with as a member of the renounced order, like red cloth or other things. Why? If one is wearing red cloth, then naturally family members stay away from them. Also, it's good because if you're wearing red cloth, then how can you act like a nonsense outside? That, oh, everyone's watching, I must behave properly like this. So it also gives some protection. What then sannyas should be received from another sannyasi? So how the guru should judge who should take sannyas? Many people just, oh, they want some follower. Oh, you want sannyas? I'll give you, come here quickly. I'll take sannyas. Give you sannyas. So should hear very carefully. The guru should first consider whether or not the disciple is qualified. He should see whether the disciple, on the strength of devotion, can control his mind and senses. Is he hankering for wealth? Does he desire to enjoy the tongue? The guru should keep the disciple with him for some time to thoroughly test him. And when he's suitable, then he can give. Under no circumstance should he offer initiation, sannyas, before examining him. If the guru offers initiation to sannyas to a person who is unqualified, he will definitely fall down. And that's why even now, Krishna Balaram, no more, like, already one person took red cloth and went down, and everyone fear now, no? So it should be very careful, examined very carefully. Yadava said, now I understand it's a very serious matter. Yes, Anandada said, yes, before there was only one Chota Haridas, now is many. Should one build a temple after he's taken sannyas? No. One who has taken sannyas, renounced order, should beg every day. He should not construct a monastery or live anywhere. Nice. He can live anywhere, in a hut somewhere, or the temple of a householder. He should remain separate from all dealings with money. He should always chant Harinam without offense. Like the Goswamis living on a different tree and doing Madhukari. But these days Madhukari is not possible. Param would have explained. I shouldn't say this, but there was one devotee. He was there in Mathura, then something happened. He left, he was kicked out of the temple. He came to Vrindavan to do Madhukari. Door to door. One house, one in Vrindavan, one lady. Oh, come in, I'll give you Madhukari. Some affair was there with a married woman in Vrindavan. So Param Gurudev said in Kali Yuga, no any more pure Madhukari. Everyone's eating onion, everyone's eating garlic, no one's offering to the deity. So no pure Madhukari. If we have to live under a different tree, how long we'd stay in Vrindavan? After probably a week, we'd be dead of malaria and dengue fever and starvation. So anyway, so Vaisnavas have nicely made this. We can do bhajan according to our qualification. But anyway, still the standard is there. Very high standard of those who renounced order like Rupa and Sanatana. Okay. What happens if a renunciant lives like a householder? He has some girlfriend or doing this or that. That is called vantasi. Vantasi means who accepts sannyas or something, like a dog who vomits or a cat. He vomits, then again he eats it. Vantasi. Someone who gives up material life, especially sex life, then again tries to enjoy that thing. Are these also Vaishnavas? Anandada said, no. There's no benefit to associate with them, Prem Prayojan and others. No benefit. They're hypocrites. What relation could a Vaishnava have with such a hypocrite? Bhaktivinoda Thakur clearly says. How can you say they've given up Vaishnavas? They're still Vaishnavism, they're still chanting Harinam. Many people saw this. Like in our Gurudev time, one sannyasi fell down, but still he kept chanting, kept giving class. So how can we say they have given up Vaishnavism? They're still chanting Harinam. Harinam and Namaparad are two very different things. Pure Harinam is quite different from Namaparad. Although externally it may look the same, right? It's an offense to commit sins on the strength of chanting Harinam. If one chants Harinam at the same time commits sinful activities, think Harinam will purify him. He is committing Namaparad. This is not Sudanam. One should run away from such offensive chanting. And again, Yadava asked, are these people also doing Krishna-centered bhajan? Krishna samsa? Never. There is no room for hypocrisy in a Krishna-centered domestic life. There can only be complete honesty and simplicity. There is no trace of offense. Is such a person less than Grihastha Bhakta? Ananda, he is not even a devotee. There is no question of comparing him with any Bhakta. So clear, no? People don't read, then they become bewildered. How can they be saved? If they really chant and they really lament, shed tears of repentance, can be purified. They won't make mistake, right? Like one sannyasi left, Gurudev must have said to me 10 times, personally to me, he has no repentance, he has no repentance, he has no repentance. The only way you become purified is by crying, oh, Bhagavan, I'm sorry, Gurudev, I'm sorry, then become purified. So, anyway. Then nice question Yadava asked, Grihasthas are in Varnashram. What if someone is outside Varnashram? Can he become a Vaishnava? Because he cannot, Grihastha, no, sorry. Someone outside Varnashram, can he become a devotee? Yes, yes. Vaishnavism is very liberal. All jivas have the right to Vaisnava-Dharma. That is why it is known as Jaiva-Dharma. Even outcasts can take up Varnashram Dharma. That's us, outcasts. Even we can take up Varnashram Dharma. Many people who accepted, okay. Everyone can do. Even those who outside Varnashram, they can enter and practice. Those who fall from Varnashram, they can also practice this Vaishnavism. No? Therefore, two types of Grihasthas, one who is part of Varnashram and one who is outside of Varnashram. Who is the superior, right? Like Russians, Americans, Chinese, Japanese, Africans, right? Outside Varnashram, Americans, Australians.